Hey there, starlings. Welcome to my second universe. This is Jess from Capella Wellness, here to help you step into your truth and star into your power. For those of you who've never been here before, welcome. Thank you so very much for being here for the first time. My name is Jessica. I go by Jess. I don't know why I'm saying that, but that must be for a reason. That's who I am. I'm a psychic medium. I am very gifted, intuitive. I'm gifted a lot of things. I've been very blessed to possess these gifts. So welcome if you're new, if you're returning, thanks for coming back to watch another one of my readings. So this is just going to be for the weekend energies. We're just going to get guidance on what we need to know, how to best navigate these energies. So whatever comes through, okay? Now you have to be honest with yourself in your situation. If you're getting more of a love message from this, trust in that. If you're getting more of a message of your self-transformation and your inner work, trust in that, okay? If it's with a relationship with somebody else, a son, a child, a sibling, a family member, at your job, this is about maybe leading your career, whatever it is, whatever hits you get, you need to trust in that, okay? So, yeah, we're just gonna see what comes through. All right, so I'm not gonna be shuffling on the table because this table's a little wobbly and it's gonna make a lot of noise and stuff like that. So here are my cards. I am using the Energy Oracle Healing deck. To start off with this, I'm also going to use the Capella deck. All right, we've got message right there already at the bottom of the deck. And I'm gonna use my own Oracle deck, okay? My Star Into Your Power Oracle deck. This is an empowerment deck. This is a self-transformation deck. It does give you the cold, hard truth about things, but if you're not in that truth, you can't grow and you can't ascend. All right, this is available for pre-order. The pre-order link is in the description box below. If you do pre-order that deck, you will get 25% off a personal reading, okay? You will be sent a coupon code to get that reading for 25% off, all right? So let's look into this and see what Holy Spirit, the Archangels, have for us for the weekend. Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadian Series, please reveal to us for highest good. What do we need to know for this weekend? What are the energies surrounding us? All tied up. This is like the Eight of Wands in, could be Eight of Wands, but this is also, yes, Eight of Swords in Tarot, okay? We have the number 23 here. This could be a significant number for you, maybe something happening on the 23rd of July, or I'm hearing like a big appointment for somebody or something like that. This is also breaks down to a 5. Something needs to change, okay? Some of you feel constricted. I'm hearing boa constrictor. It's kind of like tightening up until you can't breathe, all right? Some of you are doing way too much. You are too many hands and too many pots type of thing, but they're all your hands, even though you only have 2 hands, but some of you are kind of like some sort of Japanese anime creature with like a gazillion tentacles, all right? That's what I'm getting. I guess there's a reason why I wore this shirt today. But there's something here about, there's something that you need to release yourself from. You're restricting your own self, okay? This could even be Saturn, maybe restricting you about certain things. So keep that in mind. Maybe you guys are going through a Saturn return or something along that, or check where Saturn is in your chart. And maybe it could have been an activation from the full moon in Capricorn where you're kind of tied up too much in the materialistic world, and you're tied up with something that is not for your highest good, and you need to tap in more to your feminine energy. It could be anything, right? But with this card here, okay, it's like, you see how there's the light of the moon that's illuminating her? There's something here about you not trusting your intuition about something. You're like, no, I'll wait. No, now's not the time to do this. No, my intuition telling me to do something. It's trying to shed light on something. Hey, you need to be doing this. You need to be releasing this. You have the ability to cut those cords, all right? Some of you, this is cord cutting, all right? Cord cutting with people, your job, possessions, the materialistic world, whatever this is for you. Cutting yourself off from like a karmic connection, right? If like you're a divine counterpart and you're just like dating other people, waiting for your person to come back, that person isn't gonna come back when you've got those karmic ties to that person, all right? That could be for somebody here. But there's something here about the light of the moon is illuminating something for you that you need to release. You need to cut the ties from. You need to let go of something. Or, you know, you're saying, I can't because I have all these obligations, all these responsibilities. I can't move. But look at her face. It's a little bit suggestive. She's like, I know that I can free myself from this, but I'm so used to this. It's almost like a weird comfortability for some of you. And you're looking right at the camera, okay? You're kind of I see you, right? It's like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm kind of hiding behind this bush, but not really. I really don't want to really face that fear. Moon energy is also about fears. She's not looking at the moon, she's looking straight ahead, and she's also not looking at what the situation she's in. She's like, I really don't want to be facing this, okay? Whatever this is, you have to allow yourself to untie yourself. I'm getting a big, strong energy. Some of you just need to, you have the scissors, or it's just that you're not really that tied up. You just have to kind of, it's interesting because her hands are bound. But apparently it's not that tight. She can loosen them up, okay? But again, others of you, this could be something with Saturn, something karmic that is, you're having to learn through this. But because the 3 and the 2 break down to a 5 in this, there's something about something needs to change. Something needs to change. Is there a butterfly in here? Yeah, there's a butterfly right in this corner. She's not even looking at the butterfly. For some of you, this is like resisting change. It's resisting the transformation that you need to undergo. You need to be the change you wish to see. I had this message come up for my members, okay, in my daily reading that came out for today, for Friday, for July 7, 2023. If you're a member of mine, you need to let go, okay? You really got to start getting down to the nitty-gritty with doing the inner work, the shadow work, facing your fears and going through that self-transformation. You want your outer environment to change? You got to be the one to change, okay? When we change, other people change. When we heal, other people heal. This is not waiting for somebody else to change or waiting for the outside circumstances to change for you. You need to be the vibrational energy for everything around you to shift. You are the main integral part of the shift that you are wanting to see. Okay, and some of you, you're restricting yourself. You gotta loosen those ties. You gotta loosen the rope here, all right? And your intuition's telling you, yeah, I need to do that. I'm not stuck. I'm not bound. This is also kind of like an energy of being bound to the devil, right? Bound to the materialistic world. I need to have this job. I need to pay these bills. Blah, 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 blah. That's the devil trying to get you to stay stuck. You're tied to me. You can't do anything. You can't have anything that you want. You gotta do all this stuff, have all these responsibilities. I gotta have all these things going on in your life so your energy is depleted, so your light dims, so you get away from God, right? When you have a life where it's like you're restricted and you like, I can't do anything because you're telling yourself you can't do anything, you're not allowing God to come in to help you. You're not allowing the archangels and your guides and your spirit team to come in to support you, because they're the ones who make the miracles. The devil doesn't. The enemy doesn't. All right? The enemy doesn't want you to trust your intuition. He doesn't want you to face your fears. He wants you to stay fearful and have lack of faith. That is when you're pulling yourself away from the divine, from God. Okay? I didn't even look at the bottom of the deck until now. It's Christ. It's Jesus here. Son of God. All right? This is Christ consciousness right here. When you feel like, I can't, nope, I don't have the time, no, I can't do this, I have all these things going on, you're listening to the devil subconsciously. Some of you don't realize this. Jesus is coming in to support you. I am here to help you. Give those burdens to me. Give all those things that you feel like you can't be restricted by. Give it to me. That's what he's there for, okay? The healer of the age is 51. Maybe this might be your age, or this could be something significant, your birth year, whatever. It breaks down to a 6. Peace, harmony, balance, unconditional love. All right? Some of you need to let go of these things that you're restricting yourself with and start loving yourself first. Doing things that make you happy, that make you feel healthy. Okay? There's a strong energy of all these obligations. I can't do my healing. I can't really get closer to God. I can't do this because I have all these other obligations. Do you see where this is leading towards? When you are saying that, you're not in alignment with God. You could be praying all day, every day. I'm going to hear him doing rosary. You could be praying all day, every day. You could be doing all these things, maybe even meditations, maybe sea salt baths, but if you are not taking things off of your plate that are restricting you from having a healthier life, from having a happier life, from being closer to God, then you're not doing something. Remember, you gotta be the change you wish to see, which means you gotta take things off your plate, which means you have to really up the ante and start telling yourself, I gotta make myself a priority. Unconditional love. I gotta make God a priority. I gotta make Jesus a priority. But again, this is not just about praying for things to go away and praying for healing and stuff like that. You are an integral part of your healing. You gotta change your diet, you gotta change your vibration, you gotta change your job, you gotta change the house that you're living in, the apartment you're living in, the city that you're living in, whatever it is. God's telling you to make a move here. But he's also telling you to give these burdens, these things that are restricted, to give it to God. Stop looking at things from a 3D perspective. A lot of things that happen with religion, it's like, oh, if we pray about it and everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, God wants us to pray, but God's like, I'm not gonna do everything for you. You need to do something first before I come in. You're co-creating with Christ consciousness, with Jesus, with Mary Magdalene, with God here. All right? A lot of you are meant to be healers in this earthly plane. But you can't be that powerful healer if you do not let go of those chains that are binding you, if you don't loosen up that rope or just take the rope off, period. You don't allow yourself the freedom, okay? God can't come in. Jesus can't come in to really work his miracles. Not only is he the healer of the ages, he is a miracle worker. He can't do that work when you're not free. You got to be the one to free yourself from whatever this is, whatever these things are. Some of you, it's multiple things that you need to free yourself from. People, jobs, belief systems, you name it. You know what these things are, because you know you can write a list down right now and say, oh my God, I'm tied to this, I'm tied to that, I'm tied to that, I'm obligated, 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 obligated. Did God say you were obligated? You were obligated to yourself. You're obligated to God. But God, Jesus, cannot come in, Mary Magdalene cannot come in until you free yourself of these things. And that's what some people don't realize when they're praying for miracles and they're like doing all this stuff. God, Jesus this, Jesus that. And dude, I am so close to Jesus. I'm way more close to Jesus and God, Mary Magdalene, than I have ever been. I am an incarnation of Mary Magdalene, okay? But it's like I have a very strong tie to him because of that, all right, relationship that I had in the past. So I was already born with this Christ consciousness, and I've been here to teach, not just to heal people, but to teach others about Christ consciousness, about what true healing is, and how God heals us, how Jesus heals us, all right? This is not a one-way street. There's two sides to this. You have to do your part by freeing yourself. You have to release these chains that bind you in order for Jesus, for God to really come in and work the miracles. Okay? It's like I was praying for all these things and I started to pray, change the way I was praying. God, give me the strength to release these bonds, these ties. Give me the resilience. Give me the persistence, the diligence to be able to cut these cords. To be able to elevate myself, to raise my vibration. Lead the way, God. Lead me in the direction that you want me to go in. But that requires us to do things. If you're asking for peace, you need to cut the things off that are not giving you that peace. And for some of you, that's going to be very hard. When your vibration is that low, and God's speaking to you through your intuition, and you're not acting upon it, God's like, I'm just going to wait here until you make a move. God waits for us to make the move, not for somebody else to make the move, not for something else to make the move. You do it first, and then God comes in with reinforcements. Jesus comes in with his healing, with his miracles, all those things. You gotta, it's like in chess. You're like staring at each other. Okay, you've been sitting there for 30 minutes. When you know what move to make,
and you're seeing an opportunity
for a checkmate.
You do that.
Watch what God does afterwards. Okay.
There's a lot of deep
Healing that a lot of you need to do. And he has all this light coming from his heart chakra, the illumination around his head, his crown, his third eye chakra, and his hands. He's
open.
You don't see him restricted, do you, at all? Not at all. Very different from this.
But God's like,
Jesus is asking, just come to me with whatever this is, and I will help you. But you need to realize when your intuition, when Jesus tells you, when God tells you through intuition, okay, I will provide this for you. I will give you peace. Thy peace I give you. It's like when I'm going back to Catholic Church. But I need you to stop doing the things that don't give you peace. And then I will magnify that for you. Then I will bring about other things that will just work miraculously to bring you more peace.
This is why religion
kind of gets us stuck. Because we have these preconceived notions. We're taught this type of societal conditioning, this programming about what Jesus can do for us, what he does, or what he can't do. Even Jesus was limitless, but he was a human being. We didn't have all the full potential of complete God, right? There's only one God. God's the only one who can do everything and anything.
But he had that within him,
right? To be
able to heal others.
He had to restrict himself of things to be able to do what he was able to do.
So there's this energy of
this
freedom. Jesus is what's going to set you free.
God's going to set you free, but you've got to cut those cords. You've got to release yourself from those things that are keeping you from being free, from keeping you from being at peace.
And your intuition's been
telling you to change, to undergo that metamorphosis. That butterfly is right there. She's not looking at it. She wants to avoid it. She's thinking everything else outside of her is going to help her loosen the rope. You got to be the one to do it. And then watch what God does. Watch what Jesus Christ does, what Mary Magdalene does afterwards. There's also something about, you may have felt like stuck. And you feel your intuition, you know something's changing, you know something's growing, but then maybe you're doubting that intuition. And maybe you have a lot of things, like you have a lot of responsibilities. Some of you are single parents, right? I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Or maybe some of you are being told that you will be better off as a single parent than a married one. That's for some of you here.
I'm one of those people. I had to trust God in that. God is always going
to protect me. The angels are always going to protect me, even though it was a scary thing for me to get divorced. And of course, I grew up Catholic, so it was like, ooh, what are you doing? Right? God didn't strike me down. I'm living my best life. And it sounds ironic to other people. I've been a single parent for like almost 8 years now. I think I've hit my 8th year this summer.
I'm the healthiest I've been.
I haven't really aged either, because sometimes people say with divorce and single parenting, it accelerates your aging process. For me, apparently it's done the opposite. Okay?
If you're curious to know how old I am,
I'm 43. I turned 43 about a month ago. And some people are kind of shocked when I say that. It's like, wait, what? Are you kidding me? And I'm a single parent? Yeah. And I'm living with my parents right now in my detour as part of my journey, right? I don't feel any restrictions. And sure, you know, my parents got their own things in the house and stuff like that, but hey, I know how to find my freedom. I'm not going to believe in that stuff for myself, okay? Because I feel free as a bird right now. That's because I did what was necessary to get me to that freedom. For some of you, this has to do with the relationship that you're in. For those of you who are like afraid of being single parents, right? There's a bit of fear here with that light of the moon that you're not looking at. Look, if God is leading you in that direction, you need to trust what he's doing. Take the religion out of it. Take the fear out of it. Because if I have been okay, then you are going to be okay. And for those of you who are already single parents, who've been single parents for that time, and you've been like, I have all these things, you know, but I'm allowing myself to be free. I'm doing things for my highest good. I'm taking care of my health, myself, my kids, kid, whatever. There's something here about Jesus is sending you, God's sending you someone to help complete that healing or to help start a new phase of healing. There's someone here where you may have completely done some tremendous deep healing over the years, over the ages. This is also about you healing your ancestral patterns, okay? Some of you have completely healed your family line, and that is an incredible feat. I'm hearing like 51 generations for some of you, for whatever that is. Interesting enough. 51 BC and 51 AD. I don't know, you may want to look up what was going on at that time, if there's any recordings on that, any kind of documentation that came out of nowhere. Something about you have really, really done some tremendous healing here, where you are completely in alignment with Christ consciousness. You have a very tight bond with Jesus, Mary Magdalene, you know, again, the Christ consciousness energy. You have healed a lot of things. The healer of the ages is what you've become. And now that you have reached this point in your journey, you're now able to be kind of Christ-like in your healing work for other people. That is huge. And because of that, you're getting greatly rewarded. Okay? If there have been a lot of things going on, it's kind of like things have been stuck, things haven't been moving, right? There's no action here, but you intuitively know something's happening. This entire time, God was kind of like restricting certain things from you for some of you to really, 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 really focus on your healing. But you also cut out those things that were taking you away from your peace to get you closer to God, to do that deep healing with God, in solitude, with Christ, to be in alignment with that Christ consciousness. So Jesus is bringing you a huge blessing. God is bringing you a big blessing here, because all of your chakras are completely opened up, right? You are in alignment for some of you, and because that tremendous healing has been done, there's other things that you haven't been able to do on your own that now God is bringing someone in to help you, because there's a man holding a heart after that, okay? Some of you have tremendously healed not only yourself, but somebody else. You've healed your broken heart, your ancestral patterns, all of these other things that were restricting you, yet restricting your freedoms, right? You are now completely free, and you feel no stress, no anxiety, no nothing, right? Because of the healing that you've done. But at the same time, what did I say? When one is healed, all are healed. You also healed somebody else. A masculine collective, your father's line, your mother's line if there's strong masculine energy, or this could also be your counterpart, okay? Number 45, that could be very significant for you. It breaks down to a 9. A cycle's about to end here. Because what's happened for some of you, you have been able to become that powerful of a healer to change somebody's heart, to change somebody's life, where they're not afraid of what they feel about you, about other things. They're following their happiness. They're following what their heart tells them to do. He's not hiding the heart anymore. He's got it completely open. There's vulnerability with this person. So there's a strong energy for some of you. This person has held you in their heart space since day one. And I'm feeling very emotional about it, because for those of you who changed this person dramatically, they're very, very grateful.
He used to not wear his heart on
his sleeve, and now he's about to do that.
Oh my God.
I just heard you've changed the way this person's heart beats.
Wow.
If that's not tremendous healing, I don't know what is.
It's the blue jay again. The blue jays are always showing
Up for me. I think it's got a nest up there. I'm gonna have to go check. Yeah, look, there's another one, guys. There's signs right there with the blue jays. Blue jays are about changes are imminent, communication, right? Something's about something different has occurred. You can also look up what blue jays mean to you. Whatever you find first is your message for you, okay? But the blue jays are here in my reading again. So yeah, you've changed. Somebody here has changed the way that their heart beats. Not just for you, but just the way that their heart beats, in the sense where how they feel about themselves, about the world, probably even about God, okay? Maybe their heart wasn't really beating the way that it should have been. Maybe they felt so closed off and they just had no sentiment, no feeling at all, emotionally numb. But you've broken that spell, okay? You've changed this person's heart for the better. You've healed it.
tremendously.
Okay? You've been able to not just stitch it back up. It's all I'm hearing. It's almost like they have a completely new heart now. The heart that they once had no longer exists. That's the type of healing that Jesus did. All right? That's the type of healing that we're able to do, especially when we do that for ourselves. This is why it's so important. If you're able to change in such a way, your heart, how you view people, how you view the world, your own family members, your own kids, your own relationships with others, the way life is, you're looking through the eyes of the Christ consciousness lens. You have the incredible amount of power to change other people in that capacity.
This is what
We're asked to do to help heal the collective, everybody.
when we're changing people's hearts and they have a
Change of interest and they see the world differently because they're operating from Christ consciousness now too. This is what we're here to do.
and this person's
Is forever grateful for that. That cycle is ending with that number 9, where I'm not going to hide my heart anymore. That old heart that I had, it's dead and gone. It doesn't exist. I have a completely new one. It's like God. Jesus gave them a completely different heart, but that's because you helped them acquire this.
there's like romance
Here, there's a love letter coming in. Somebody's going to be very expressive of how they feel. And they're underneath this tree with these red blossoms here. Red, passion, action, Aries energy, assertiveness, right? Romance. This person's feeling very romantic. There's a lot of passion here too. It kind of looks like, you know, one of those guys in those romance novels where a lot of the dudes have the long hair and then the shirt is completely off or open. It's like something like that, right? Something of a romance novel. But here's the thing. A lot of you, some of you have realized that romance isn't the end goal. Changing people's hearts is. Healing people's hearts is, to include yours first. When you have someone with a free and clear heart chakra who's completely healed from top to bottom, you're going to have a more harmonious relationship, more passionate. You're going to have a more balanced connection with someone, a healthier connection with someone. Okay? Your person may wear a necklace. Okay? This guy's wearing a necklace. He may have long hair too. He may not. But there's a ring around this necklace, something with a circle, infinity. Not infinity, but it's tied to that, because if you want to look at an infinity symbol, they're kind of two stretched out circles, but there's also like with the two circles together, what's more potent, what I'm hearing than infinity symbol is the Vesica Pisces, which is what I wear. Two circles, right? This is like betrothal, right? When two, you know how when you look at wedding pictures and they tend to put the two rings together? This is the vessel of the fish. This is the emblem of the divine feminine. She's the one who holds the space for the masculine so that he can come full circle. Feminine becomes full circle, becoming feminine Christ. Masculine comes full circle, becoming masculine Christ, which creates this. And you see how the infinity symbol is underneath it? It's like a Venn diagram, right? What I'm being told right now is this Vesica Pisces is way more strong than this infinity symbol.
And he has part
Of the Vesica Pisces. He has part of this symbol right here, and you have the other heart. Why there are wedding rings. You have one part of that unconditional love, of that very strong bond with someone that is of the divine, and your other person has, you have the ring, the other person has the other wedding band, and when you come together as one, not that you're literally mixing, you know, creating infusing the bands together, it's your souls, right? Two becoming one, and he has it exposed here. The heart is open, his chest is open. Some of you, either your person has a hairy chest or you do if you're a male, but I don't know, they're having me point that out. They wanted me to throw in a little bit of joke there. But, or maybe somebody shaves their chest. I don't know, I just heard that, that's kind of funny. But this person here, and look how like intently he's looking at you, right? That's how kind he feels when he has thoughts about you, something along those lines. But with that red, that passion here, and then there's a lot of blue here too, the emotions. Blue is the second most potent healing color, right? But sometimes dark blue can lead to depression. It can lead to uncertainty, it can lead to like fears or like suppression of emotions, right? Be careful with that. But there's a big healing energy, especially with all this light here, this gold colored aura. Some of you have a gold aura right now, which is why all these things are miraculously happening for you. And because of that, you're also miraculously helped heal someone, transform somebody else. So again, with that ring around his necklace, he has it now. And he's not going to be afraid to share it with you or give it to you. There's something about a proposal too here. I'm going to read the book like I always do.
top of the deck is
The counterpart, number 44, Woman Holding a Heart. Jesus is, look, it's 3313. That 33 is a Jesus number. Can't make it up. Christ consciousness is merging the man and the woman together. 44 and 45.
and look, she has a
She has the butterfly on her head. She's completely transformed. You know who you are because you're flying free like this butterfly. You're not restricted. You feel completely open.
you feel completely
Liberated. You get to go where you want, in a sense, spiritually, physically.
your heart
Is open too. You're not closing it off to people, to love, to other things. You're not afraid to be vulnerable. You're not afraid to speak up. You're not afraid to share your feelings or what's in your heart. Because when you're not afraid to share what's in your heart, you're being vulnerable. You're also listening to God. Listen to your intuition because God speaks to us through here. All right? So
some of you
you have done a tremendous amount of healing yourself, which is why I was saying you learned to love again, which also helped you teach others, or you were an example to others about how to, so they can love again. This is also about this feminine here is about to have a relationship. The man holding the heart. They've held the space for each other, right? They've held on to you since day one. For some of you, your person was the one who fell in love with you first before you did with them, right? I'm hearing the masculine is the one who fell in love with you first before the feminine fell in love with the masculine. But you always held the space for each other. That's why when I talk about some of you, if you are dealing with karmics and it's not your divine counterpart, you're actually blocking this divine love from occurring, because God is part of this. Nothing can interfere with that. When you keep the space open, when you keep the love open for your divine counterpart only, because that's where the highest love is going to come from. You're not going to have the highest love of all with the soulmate. You won't, because it was not ordained by God. It is not sanctioned as that divine marriage, as that divine union. You can have similar relationships with people where, you know, there's a lot of love. It could be unconditional love, but it's not the highest form, because the highest form is the one that is created by God, that infinity, right? The eternal love, the eternal bond, the bond that God created that cannot be destroyed by man, nothing. All right, so there's a union here, and these two have really done a tremendous amount of healing. They are the embodiment of like Mary Magdalene and Jesus here is what I'm getting. But she is the one who's changed this person's heart. She's also been changing other masculines' heart too, not just her divine counterpart. Because the feminine is supposed to be doing that for other masculines too. Not just the divine masculine, everybody. The feminine is here to heal other masculines' hearts, especially those who are male. Okay, so let's look at the tied up card and read that. This card shows a woman tied up with vines around her wrists, body, and arms. Receiving this card upright represents a situation in your life where things seem to be severely stuck. A major drama may be going on around you, stopping you from moving forward, or it may be that some technicalities are blocking your way. Perhaps you're waiting for a contract to be signed or an agreement to be made. Whatever is holding things up, the restrictions may be feeling quite oppressive at this time. If this isn't technically the case for you, what's tying you up is your own personal stuff. Look at your life and see how you can be your own jailer. Are you tying yourself up in some emotional angst or in a negative habit that you refuse to deal with? If so, it's time to cut the vines and make some serious changes now. You needn't live in your self-imposed jail any longer. I told you this is a self-imposed prison. That is 8 of Swords. Your mental state. You're thinking that you're stuck. There's no way out. Jesus is the way out. God is the way out. But they're asking you to do certain things first. You got to cut the rope, cut the vines, break the chains that bind you, right? Separate ways by journey. Let's look at 51, which is the bottom of the deck. This powerful being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of divine consciousness pours from his hands and heart, flowing to you with love and powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping to unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. See, this is the way to unblock that stuck energy, those restrictions. You may have felt the strong presence recently, or you may just be opening to the wonderful sensations now. You can call upon this emissary of miraculous transformation whenever you need vitality, balance, or renewal. Know that at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place. When you profoundly change somebody's heart, change somebody's well-being, their health, the whole shebang, you have done some important deep healing. They have too, but you are a healer of the ages. So they want me to read the man holding the heart because he's staring at me in the face, right? Man dealing with family, love, or emotions. This tender man sits with flowers all around, holding a heart in his hand. For a man, this signals a greater clarity about emotions and their purpose in life. There could be a more balanced approach to family and love at this time, even if these have been confusing experiences for you in the past. For some, this card upright could signal the presence of a new man in your life, one who tends to be more thoughtful and aware. Whether or not this man is a love interest or a friend, he brings a high intention to help where personal projects, family, or home issues are concerned. And the affirmation with this is, I am comfortable with all of my emotions. I honor and express them in appropriate ways. I feel peace. It's right there.
Peace is the ultimate goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not love, it's not money. There's happiness and there's peace. So I'm going to use Kipler. Kipler, that's something else. Kipper. Maybe somebody's last name is Kipler, is what I'm hearing. Hello, Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. Kipler. Welcome. Let's see what else we need to know with this. Okay. Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadians, Sirians, please reveal to us for highest good. What else do we need to know about these messages that the Archangels are providing us for the weekend? Please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity.
House. Maybe you feel stuck in a
House. Maybe maybe you feel this energy about moving. Some of you, your living situation is changing. There's a small group of you, because of the amount of healing you've done on yourself and how much you've changed. This man, this person, it could be a female too, don't get it twisted, but there's strong man energy here, okay? Part of your reward is a stable, solid, secure relationship. You could very well be moving into a mansion, a much bigger house than you are in now, than you have ever lived in your life, okay? For some of you, son of a bitch, this is what is coming to you, and look who's at the bottom of the deck. It's the privileged lady. Someone's coming into a tremendous amount of wealth because of what you've done for this person. This person's going to give you the world. This person's going to provide for you. They're going to give you the house. You're not going to have to worry about money at all. You're not going to worry about anything. They're like, she's living in this mansion, okay? That is her domicile right there. And this is also for those feminines, when you become that privileged lady, but this is not vanity, this is not highly upscale, meaning like you're materialistic. Airplane, somebody's traveling or something's swiftly changing. There's something about moving, having to take an airplane to do this. Mansion over the cliff, I don't know, I just got that. That airplane's not coming out of some sort of coincidence. Somebody's traveling to see you, somebody bought an airplane ticket. For my members, you know where that's coming from. So you stood up for yourself. You know your worth now. You understand that you're worthy of wealth, of wonderful things, of a man holding a heart, someone who's very thoughtful, who's very aware of his emotions, someone who will express them to you, but also has a different type of love language, but they're not going to hold their heart. They're not going to hide it from you anymore. Okay? That's because you have understood, you know what? Yeah, I am privileged, but not like stuck up, not like I'm better than you, whatever, whatever. You're like, and you're dressing the part too. This is like feminine, divine feminine Christ energy. You're dressing the part. You look like you are a privileged lady. You look like you are wealth in all forms, abundance in all forms. You speak like it, talk like it, act like it. Your energy exudes the energy of the privileged lady, not the unprivileged lady, not the unworthy lady, not the, restricted lady. No, she's not restricted at all, and she's not worried about where her money's coming from. She knows it's coming from God, and at some point along the way, it's going to come from this man who's very thoughtful, and he's like, well, you know what? I'm going to go provide for this feminine here. What this is happening is, especially if like you're a single parent or something like that, like someone's coming in to kind of like help you out here, but they're also going to emotionally support you at the same time, not just provide. Remember, like restrictions it talked about, you're waiting for a contract to be signed. Maybe this man, this person bought a house for you, for both of you to live in, for your kids to live in, your future kids to live in, and they're just waiting for the contract it's the closing of the house, okay? Maybe they're waiting for that, or a lawyer needs to do something, or they need to sell their other house before they can, upgrade their house or make space for you is what I'm hearing, okay? Because they're not just going to give you any type of house. They're going to give you the house that a privileged lady
deserves.
Okay. There's also something with children because there's a child right underneath this. Okay. It's a fresh start. It's a new beginning. There's something about you've proven yourself worthy, but you had to understand that you were worthy all along, that you were deserving all along, that you were deserving of this better living space of this house. You were deserving also of a very solid, stable relationship where everyone supports each other, okay? This is a very supportive environment. You have now a sense of community, a sense of support. You may be moving to a neighborhood where people, it's quieter, it is not as loud, or people are a lot more happy where that neighborhood is, something like that. It could be, you could be in a gated community. Some of you are moving to a gated community, or maybe you're in one now and you're moving to another gated community where like you're gonna be living in houses that kind of look like these, or they're just massive houses, okay? Because there's a strong energy of wealth here. Because I'm getting mansion, and she's the wealthy woman who's married to the wealthy man. But it looks like because you changed this person so much, you've also helped them to get into vibrational alignment with acquiring this wealth. And part of that love language, part of what they're gonna give to you involves this house, literally for somebody. It involves, like, I'm gonna take very good care of you. You are going to be, this is like a millionaire, I'm hearing. Some of you may be, your divine masculine may have very well, become a millionaire. Maybe they always were. They have this amount of wealth, or they inherited a house, they inherited an estate, and they want you to move in with them in it, something along those lines. Maybe they've purchased several houses. This is coming on Spitfire now. But there's something about, like, she doesn't have to worry about anything, right? Because she didn't believe that she was stuck. She didn't believe that she was restricted because of her bank account, because of this, because of her living space, right? She still found her freedom. She still found her happiness, and she still healed in that process. So I'm gonna go read the book, what I do with the book here. I know I had the book, what's underneath the cards? What's at the top? Poverty.
Lack.
Mentality, not having. Some of you maybe grew up poor, right? And you may be feeling, well, I grew up poor, so I'm deserving to have all this stuff, but have you changed? Have you actually told yourself you're worthy of this wealth? Have you told yourself that you're deserving? Are you self-conscious about yourself? Are you acting the part? Are you looking disheveled and unhealthy and like tapped out and tired all the time? That's not what divine feminine looks like, right? That's not what a privileged lady looks like. She's very well dressed. Look, she's very confident, right? She's healthy looking. She's glowing. She did a lot of work to get there, right? Some of you could be in this right now. Look disheveled, like there's dirt, like you're tired, you're weary. This is an energy of like very tired, working so much, working for little. That's not how God wants you to live. And some of you grew up poor. And you're thinking, well, I deserve this because God gave me this life, whatever. But are you in alignment with it? Have you done your work to attract what you think you deserve? Have you done your work, right? This is not about entitlements here. God understands He put you in poverty. He put you in a very compromising position, whatever this is, to get you to realize something about yourself, about God, about life. God, you need to prove to God that you're deserving of this type of lifestyle, that you are becoming this very healthy, very happy person. Feminine. For some of you, it's women, okay? But you got to be the change you wish to see. You have to be in the vibrational alignment of wealth, of happiness, of excellent health before this comes in. Because this is coming in the physical for some of you, but you got to be in alignment with this first. You don't see her tied up, do you? No. You feel like this, you're not in alignment with this. You're not in a vibrational match for this and this. If you are this. There's a lot of deep healing wounds, and some of you need to do, there's some deep childhood wounds with regards to lack mentality or poverty. Okay? God did not say anywhere, thou shalt be poor.
That's the programming.
Oh, once you're poor, you're always poor. No, but here's another thing I'm getting, poor in spirit. If you're feeling poor in spirit too, guess what? Everything in your life is going to feel poor. You are rich in spirit already because you already have God within you. And you need to act like it. You need to speak like it. You need to embody that and express it that way. Hello, Amazon truck. Delivery. Special delivery. Somebody could very well just like be delivering you a house. Not literally, but you get what I'm saying. Okay? Or maybe the house is being built. You can have these things. Maybe your intuition is feeling like these things are coming, but have you let go of the things that are not in alignment with that? Everything has to be in vibrational alignment. So let's look at the house card. But for some of you, you are literally moving to a new house. It's better than anything you've ever lived in. And now that you've done this work, deep-rooted healing, okay? You've changed dramatically with that butterfly there. You didn't believe for 1 second you were poor, that you were lacking. You didn't believe for 1 second that you were stuck. Because you knew that God was working for you because you've done your part. And that God had a better plan for you. He had a better house for you. Some of you, you've lost your homes. Some of you, you've lost all your possessions. You had to give up and sacrifice practically everything you've ever worked hard for, you ever owned, to get this. Because you need to make room for this. And I keep getting very strongly, this masculine here, this male, this man holding the heart, knows what you are deserving of. And he's like, I'm not going to get just any house. I'm going to get that big house right there. Everybody's going to be comfortable. I keep hearing making space for you, your kid, your kids, whatever, because you have already worked towards this energy. The significator has arrived at the fine wrought iron gates of an impressive 5-story Queen Anne mansion, which blazes with gaslights. Is it a waning moon or an eclipse of the sun? Are we coming for dinner or a ball? The scene is ripe with potential and suspense. Literally, of course, this is a house, home, property, real estate, land dealings, buildings. Abstractly, it represents safety, family, coziness, and security. It is the things you hold and that hold you. From this arises the idea of long-term investments of resources and energy. This is also talking about, again, what I said, you're not going to have to worry about money ever again because you've done your part. This card shows your family, neighborhood, house, home, or buildings, or real estate in general. It also stands for stability and security. Some of you, you're coming into financial stability and security. You're going to have a home, like 4 of Wands, where the family, the marriage is stable, it's secure, it's solid, everyone supports each other, it's in a high vibrational energy. This might be a secure and safe job or a job with real estate. The house can also indicate a solid, strong, and steady relationship. This could be actual house or apartment, home, and security, real estate. This is a lucky card when you're the significator but in the center of the spread, the people who surround it can be dangerous. The timing is approximately 6 months, all right? Maybe you're moving in 6 months. Or maybe it's taken 6 months for this house to be built, or for this person, for the contract, for the closing of the house, whatever this is, okay? Or the sale of this house. 6 months can be anything. All right? So let's look at number 12 with the privileged lady. Wow, it's getting really hot now. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. We meet the privileged lady, the epitome of wealth, ease, youth, health, beauty, and charm as she strolls across the wide lawn past the orchid house. Lavishly dressed in the latest fashion, she gives us the relaxed look of a lady used to admiration. This card stands for fun, creativity, luxury, the good life, and all beautiful things. She can also be the best friend of the main male, card 2. She is the female counterpart of the wealthy man. She can be a young woman, a daughter, or younger mistress. When this card isn't referring to a person, it's talking about a lucky phase, being carefree and no worries. This is usually a positive card, but near bad ones and can be family-related grief, but there are no bad cards here. This card represents prosperity, luxuries, creativity, and wellness. It may also show a young female friend or relative, girlfriend, sister, daughter, best friend, or a young privileged lady. It is a card that shows the gentle and comfortable way of life. This is part of the reward that God gives you when you're able to change someone into this. And when you change yourself, because that could also be you holding your heart, but you've healed.
Tremendously.
Somebody's gonna have financial security and stability. They're gonna come into a new home, a new family, a new neighborhood, a completely new state, a new city, whatever. This is about getting life's luxuries, right? Divine feminine energy, but she attracts this.
She is a poised.
Feminine. Okay? She knows her worth. She's not gonna settle for anything less to include relationships. She may have grown up poor, or she may have had issues where there was like money issues, or, you know, maybe she lost everything, but she didn't lose her sense of self. She knew that she was a queen. She was a divine feminine. She was going to attract what she's vibrating at because she believed that in herself. She's not settling for second best. A privileged lady does not do that. Okay, and remember they talked about she's the counterpart of the wealthy man. For some of you, your Boaz is coming, right? Your Isaac is coming. You could be the Rebecca. You could be the Ruth. Go look up those stories.
They may have not
Had money, but they looked the part. They knew their worth and they knew they were privileged.
and they trusted God.
God fully that they would be provided for by a wealthy man. That's part of the divine order. But remember, we have to be in that energy. This is not about entitlement. You could be the poorest of the poor and still feel like you are privileged. You can still feel like you are wealthy as all hell in all senses of the word. Wealthy in peace, wealthy in health, wealthy in a mentally sound mind, wealthy in ideas and intelligence, right? That has to do with the abundance, because wealth doesn't just talk about money.
That's the last thing to come.
Come in when you're in alignment with it. Let's see what our final guidance is for the weekend.
Don't forget,
This is available for pre-order. Check the link below. If you pre-order now, you will get 25% off a reading. A personal reading. All right. What is the guidance, Holy Spirit, Archangels, for this weekend, for this collective? Please and thank you.
and if you were stuck
In a poverty mindset, get yourself out of there. Even if you're still poor right now, or you were poor before, get yourself out. Abundance is your birthright. Do not think for 1 second that that is what your destiny is, because it is not. I said before, God did not say anywhere thou shalt be poor. Nowhere. Okay?
there's one,
And there's one that, a couple that fell on my leg here. We have, do not assume. Those of you who are my members, those of you who were in my live the other night, that's coming up. 666, thoughts are out of balance regarding financial and material matters. And everyone knows this is the mark of the beast. Oh my God, it's a devil number. Guess what? What was I talking about? Restrictions. You feeling tied to the devil, to the materialistic world, right? That's why this number is coming out. When you see a lot of these things, this is you worrying about being poor, worrying about losing money again, worrying about not having enough. I'm going to be poor all my life. Or if you were poor, I don't want to go back to being poor. Get out of that fear. You will manifest that, or you will continue to be poor. You will manifest being poor again if you start fearing that. If you start thinking that you're not worthy of wealth and abundance. Your mindset is everything. Thoughts are out of balance regarding financial and material matters. Okay? Get out of that lack mentality. You need to have an abundant mindset, an abundance of peace, though, an abundance of happiness and wellness and good health. This is why it's so important for health here. Okay? A lot of you got to change up a lot of things to be healthier, to get yourself into a more high vibrational state. And if you're a Capella member of mine, a paid member, we have wellness challenges every week. Wellness is an integral part in your healing. This is why I'm Capella Wellness and not Capella Tarot or anything else. use this because I'm guided to do this. And some of these cards have wellness tips in them, but in my Capella memberships, you go through weekly wellness challenges, and when you start really working towards those, it helps with your well-being, because wellness helps raise your vibration, okay? Health is everything when you're doing the inner work and you're doing healing, all right? Some of you really gotta change up some things and change your relationship with money too. Is this for your highest good? I asked this earlier. Whatever's making you feel restricted, I bet you anything is not for your highest good, is it? You gotta start asking yourself, are my thoughts really in alignment with what I'm desiring? Are my thoughts about poverty and lack alignment with that mansion, with me having the life's luxuries and having beautiful things, a beautiful garden out back and a huge mansion on the cliff with a pool and waterfalls and luxury cars, and you know, I have I'm bountifully supplied with money so I can purchase whatever it is that I need and when the occasion what I want, right? But this is not going overboard, right? This is not flaunting your wealth and being like, oh, I'm rich and I'm just gonna be, you know, look at me, everybody. I got all these cars and all these like gold fixtures, almost like what happened to MC Hammer. And I'm not judging him, but it happened, right? You get the point. You're not here to be wealthy, to be flaunting it, to prove a point. If you try to acquire wealth that way, you're gonna have a very rude awakening. All right? So start asking yourself, is this for my highest good? And you know it's not, cut it out of your life. Your mental state, again. Is me thinking about poverty and having lack really good for me? No, because what does happen? It instills fear. It causes you to be out of balance. You feel restricted, right? I can't spend my money because I don't want to be poor again. I have to be careful what type of house. I have to be careful with this. Yes, there has to be a balance there. Being mindful, not like, you know, overspending what it is that you have, right? If you don't have the cash, don't buy it. If you don't have the money, you know, and you have something else to pay, then, you know, be smart about it. But don't be freaking out about spending money for your healing, spending money for your wellness, your well-being. Yikes. Again, with my memberships, I talk a lot about wellness tips, and sometimes in my readings, I do wellness tips, and I forgot to bring the wellness card, but there's a reason why that didn't happen. But my wellness challenges are really, really, really beneficial. They're very impactful. It does change people's minds, and it does help with your heart chakra healing and a whole bunch of other stuff, okay? So start asking yourself, this is restricting me. I'm obligated to do this, but is it really for my highest good? Does it make me happy? Does it bring me peace? The last one, a major shift is imminent. I did say for somebody there's massive changes. Somebody's gonna go from rags to riches. Not that you were complete rags, but when I talk about rags to riches, you went from a lot to practically nothing. It's the Job story for some of you. And this person that you've helped heal tremendously, because you've healed yourself, is going to be the one to give you those riches. Okay? They're going to give you those riches. That's part of your reward. And again, with those changes, as I said, some things have been stuck, things that haven't been moving, but you're like still in the light, you're still trusting in your intuition, you're still in alignment with God. Somebody's life is dramatically changing. Again, rags to riches. Your children's lives are changing too. But that is only for those who've made the change in their lives. You let go of things that are not for your highest good. You let go of that job. You let go of that career. You moved from the house, or God removed the house from you and you let it go. Job, everything was taken from you and you're like, what just happened? That's because you needed to make the room for this major shift in your life, for this wealth, these riches to come in. And that is hard for a lot of us to do. This is what God wants us to understand. We can pray for the house. We can pray for the riches, to win the lottery, whatever, to have that husband, to have that wife. But are you that person to have that? Have you changed yourself in a way to attract it? God wants you to attract it. Yes, prayer is part of it, but you got to do your part. Bottom of the deck is hear them out. This has been coming up a lot lately because someone's going to be vulnerable. They're going to be expressing their feelings. They're going to be very thoughtful, maybe giving you gifts, and they got a big gift of a house coming for you, giving you luxurious gifts. It could be like expensive shoes or handbags or jewelry, or the house is part of it, the car, all right? This is the person's love language for some of you, okay? But this person's going to start by being open and honest with you. They're going to have heart-to-heart conversations with you. What did I say about changes? You've changed so much. So now you're going to be able to really, okay, sure, I'll listen to what you have to say. If you're talking about going back to thinking about what this person has done in the past, right? Sixes are there. I'm seeing 6 of Cups, right? You're assuming that this person is like being vindictive. They got something up their sleeve. You got to trust your intuition. But have you changed for the better? Are you not the same person you were? If you've changed dramatically, if you feel completely free and liberated, and you've done some serious self-transformation, this person who's coming now to you has also changed. Like attracts like. Everybody has the ability to change, but that's when we change, and we change our belief systems. We change our perspectives about what happens in our life, but we have a better understanding that things happen for us, not to us, to get us to change for the better, to get us to heal, to become the healer of the ages. Where we heal so much, we change so much, we have the ability to change others for the better. And when we can do that, this is when God blesses us with a massive shift in our physical world, and in our wealth, and in our abundance, and in our relationships, because we have been the change that we wanted to see. We did not wait for everybody else to do it. We did it first. That's how these things operate. So when this person comes to you and they're expressing their emotions, they're being very thoughtful. They're also being cordial, and they're being more expressive. They're asking you, like, so let me know, like, what did you feel about the situation? Or they're gonna be very understanding and compassionate here. And they're gonna explain some things to you. This is gonna be a very heartfelt conversation. Do not start assuming things of this person, or start assuming when you all of a sudden get the house and you get the wealth and your whole life completely changes, right? Major shift. That this is a joke, that it's a fluke, that someone is trying to like hold something over you. Not if you've changed dramatically. Not if you are operating out of full Christ consciousness. That is not what God is going to do in your life, because you're not the person who's attracting that stuff anymore. Sure, you have the option to hear them out, but here's the thing. If you start assuming things and you're going by what you see in the physical, or you're going back to the past, you haven't changed, because you're still coming from a distorted place. Assume makes an ass out of you and me. That leads to judgment. Nobody on this earthly plane has the right to judge but God. No one. Because no one ever has all the facts. Unless you have every little fact, every little detail about this man holding the heart, every little thing from their childhood and what they've been doing since they were gone, or since you've been gone, since you haven't talked. unless you have every little bit of understanding of their life.
You cannot judge them.
And you cannot assume.
That means you're coming
From a lack of faith and a lack of trust. That means you are not a true divine feminine Christ or divine masculine Christ, because you're still judging. You're still mistrusting. You still don't have faith, which means you're not trusting in your own intuition. You're not trusting that you have changed for the better, if you have changed for the better. And if you make the conscious choice from a place of Christ consciousness to hear this person, everyone has a right to be heard, do they not? I bet you $1 million you would like to be heard too. You want to make sure that you get your story across, or you have that open-hearted conversation with someone to better explain certain things, why you made the mistakes that you did, why you chose what you chose. They're all lessons. So if you're not willing to hear somebody out, guess what's going to happen? What's going to come back around to you is that people are not going to be willing to hear you out. And yeah, everybody has a choice. And it doesn't have to be from this man holding a heart. Maybe this is about you hearing from someone who is a healer of the ages, who is coming from a place of Christ consciousness, who is about love and peace, unconditional love, peace, understanding, compassion, energy of divine feminine Christ. Someone who's leading you to peace, leading you to healing, because they've done it themselves. I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I wouldn't have gone through what I did. And I'm still in complete peace and happiness, even though I lost practically everything that I worked so hard for in my life. Right? God's like, nope, this has got to go, Jess. A lot of people are very bitter. They curse God out. They are unhealthy. They start drinking. They start going to the drugs. They start like doing all these things just for money, trying to get out of their situation, to force it. The proof is in the pudding. If you're dealing with somebody who's been able to accomplish that incredible feat, even when all this stuff happens, right? That poverty card. I've been working hard. I've been doing a lot, but nothing seems to be changing, and my situation isn't really improving, but you know what? I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm still at peace. I trust that at some point this will change, because anything that is not like poverty type of mentality is temporary. But again, that also ties into poor in spirit, being poor in spirit. When you're poor in spirit, how can you amass wealth in anything? So some of you got to work on your spirit. Okay? It's all about the spirit, it's not about the flesh. That's where we get it wrong. And we're thinking it's about the flesh. It's all about the spirit. So this could be hearing out your person, right? Don't assume things of them. Do not go back to the past. You do that, you have not healed, you have not changed, you have not learned your lessons. Am I hearing things or somebody whistling? Okay, I don't know what song that was. If anybody knows, if you can hear it, put it in the comments. I keep forgetting to like, share, subscribe, but you know what? I can't really be focusing on that. It is what it is. But if you're still here, like, share, subscribe. Put it in the comments what your thoughts on this thing is. Okay? How does it play out in your story? What hang-ups may you still have? So if you hear them out and you allow them to speak, which is what a true divine feminine would do, a true divine masculine would do, because there's no judgment, they don't assume, because everybody has the right to be heard. What's going to happen is, this is a huge test for some of you, whether you're going to hear them out or not, because if you do, That is going to cause a major shift in your entire life.
Where you won't have to worry
Worry about anything ever again. Because that is the reward that you get for you changing yourself and your world, you being able to change the hearts of others.
Because remember, this conversation
Is a make or break for some of you. It's going to be a test to see if you've really changed for the better. If you are applying all that you have learned. Are you walking the walk and talking the talk?
if you are truly a person
Of forgiveness, and this person asks for this, and you hear them out and all that stuff, are you really going to be the true divine feminine Christ and forgiving this person?
because without that forgiveness,
Those rewards that God has waiting for you with this stuff right here, it's not coming to you. It can come in a different form. You can have a nice house, but maybe not the mansion. You can have like a soulmate, a masculine who is, you know, thoughtful and helps out, but maybe both of you have to work, or, you know, there's still some extra stuff that needs to be done. You may still be a little bit tied up with all the responsibilities to pay the bills, right? But you will be comfortable. You will have what you need.
but remember,
The divine masculine is going to be the only person who's going to give you this privileged life, because that is a massive reward that is given to the feminine, because that is part of the divine order.
right? There are
No worries. She can go sit out in her garden and she doesn't have to worry about doing a day job. She may not even have to worry about doing so much about what she does for mission. Her mission will change, and then her person will be like, this is what we're going to do now for mission, and she won't have to be doing what she's been doing now. It could be like that. Because God wants you to be worry-free, like free and clear of so many things, and that the money is just going to come, and you're going to make money in your sleep, and you're going to be able to just live this beautiful life, and the money will start rolling in, and you won't have to lift a finger. She doesn't lift a finger, but she's worked very, very, very hard to get there internally, and she also now looks the part. Stop stressing. What are you stressing about? There's no need for this. Stress lowers your libido, it lowers your energy, it lowers your vibration, it dims your light. That stress does not align with this, it does not align with the mansion either. The stability, security, doesn't. Remember, stress, it's a health thing. Stop stressing out. There's no need to be in that. This is why for some of you, you've got too much going on. And it's causing a lot of stress. How are you going to expect these beautiful, amazing things to come into your life when you're stressed out? Do something creative. I've been saying this for a very long time. You're a member of mine, you gotta start doing something creative. This talks about creativity too. She does something creative. She puts it out into the ethers, and God works the miracles for her, for it to come in. Forcing creates resistance. What did I say about forcing?
do something creative.
And just let it go. Watch the magic happen, because you have unlimited potential.
You have to understand your power.
You have the power to have a very privileged life. That's what God wants for everybody. He does. There's no limitations to what God can do. Stop putting God in a box. But you're going to have to lose a lot to gain that type of lifestyle. You're going to have to change a lot to acquire this.
That's the price you're going to have
To pay. God isn't just going to plop it in your lap because you feel entitled, because you had a rough life.
We want you to stop focusing
on that past and get you out of that mindset and show God what you can do and show other people what you can do, who you can become. Give them space. Some of you, you've given them some space. Others of you, you got to give them space to heal. You got to give your space. You got to give yourself time to heal. There's somebody, but somebody keeps chasing somebody. Stop doing that. Doors are opening up for you.
This is also
Literal doors to a new house is about to open up for you. Doors to a privileged, luxurious life are opening up for you. All right, guys. Let me set that down gently because I know it makes a noise. All right, don't forget, this is pre-order. You get 25% off coupon if you pre-order my new Oracle deck. It's a wonderful, wonderful deck. It goes well with my Divine Masculine Unspoken Words deck too. If you don't have that already, I gotta set up the bundle. I gotta do that. If you see the bundle, go ahead and buy it, but my paid Capella members get 10% off these decks, in case you forgot. If you wanna become a paid Capella member, you can try one of the tiers for 7 days for free. You will still get 10% off of that deck. Yes, even if you're on a free trial, I'm gonna allow that to happen, all right? So, you have to sign up for a paid membership to get access to a particular private forum to get that coupon code. So if you want to get 10% off this deck, you can sign up for a 7-day free trial if you don't already have a membership already, and try out the membership. Download the free mobile app. You can chat with me on there. You can go look through some stuff. I do give out free guidance and free readings for those who are free members, but everything else that is on there, with the exception of booking a reading, because you can book readings and packages on that app too, everything else is locked for my paid Capella members, and certain content, certain channels, certain benefits are only allowed access for those who have that in their benefit plan. All right, if you have any questions about anything at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. Everything else you need to know about me, about my work, in a sense, about things that I offer is in the description box below. I do coaching as well, okay? If you're looking for straight coaching, I do have a coaching package. If you go to capellawellness.com and click on coaching packages, Capella coaching, tarot packages, if you look further down there, there is a link for, there is a section there that talks about the coaching package that I offer. So if you're just looking for coaching, I do offer that. Some of my memberships, the higher tier memberships, do offer monthly coaching, and the highest tier, the Auriga membership, which is your best value membership, hands down. You will get 2 25-minute coaching sessions with me per month, okay? Usually one at the beginning of the month and one at the end. And if you are a Auriga member, you get exclusive access to my Auriga Circle community, my group there, where I give you secrets about union, permanent union, and secrets that I have used for myself, who have gotten me to here, to give you an edge, to give you an added benefit, to help you to achieve what it is that your heart is desiring, and to get you to achieve a great relationship, a beautiful relationship with God, and to achieve peace, wellness. If you're looking at how to look younger even, I will talk about those things, because I do incorporate wellness stuff in there. So a lot of secrets that I'm not going to be talking about in any of the membership tiers or in my videos or anything like that, the stuff that God wants me to withhold just for Auriga members, you're going to be able to get that information. It's like the privileged membership, okay? Because that's how my guides want to do it, all right? Because I will help you get there, okay? So that's what I have for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, for subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and for illuminating that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. I wish you the best today. Always, I send you so much love. And I hope I illuminated your well-being today. And this is Jess from Capella Wellness, starring out.